Hello and welcome. This is Rooflemonger, and you may know me as a guy who talks a lot about fighting games on the internet. Kind of a thing that I do, real big fan of the genre. And here in this video, we are doing a character guide for Mileena in Mortal Kombat 1. And before we get directly to the guide, I just want to let you guys know to make sure to subscribe to DashFight for more fighting game character guides, and check out their website for all things FGC. So what is Mileena all about in Mortal Kombat 1? Well, Mortal Kombat is a franchise where the characters may appear game to game, but the way they play can wildly change game to game. And in this iteration of Mortal Kombat, Mileena is much more of an up-close, focused character, much more in-your-face style of play. Now, she does retain much of her classic moveset. So say moves like the teleport kick, she can be on you anywhere on the screen, immediately on the ground or even in the air. So her ability to just not deal with the general normal spacing game plan of fighting games, very easy for her. That, and of course her classic Mileena ball roll, which is also great for juggling people in combos. So with that and the teleport, she does have high random factor, I guess you can call it. She does have a very solid game plan up front, as we'll discuss throughout the video, but if you just want to kind of go crazy, her ability to be on top of you anywhere on the screen is very good. Now, her traditional side tosses are still in the game, but as you may see, they don't quite go full screen anymore. So these are more pokes, if you would, than a traditional zoning tool. And hey, to be fair, even though it doesn't go quite full screen, the loci is a true low, must be blocked crouching, so it's a pretty good poke, very annoying. Although, if you want to spend a little bit of meter, you can make that full screen. In the end, Mileena wants to be in your face, and given her moveset and a lot of her options, she has a lot of options to get to you and just chomping at the bit to do so. Her damage, generally speaking, is actually quite a bit higher than average. She does not need cameos to get any kind of optimal damage. Her damage is better than some characters with cameos, so generally speaking, you pick your cameo to enhance her game plan, but not necessarily for combo damage. Her damage is quite high. She has many moves that leave very powerful knockdowns, so her ability to pressure after the fact is very high, so keep that in mind too for some cameo choices. But for now, let's talk some of the most important tools in her moveset. Now let's talk some of the more important aspects of her moveset here. A lot of her normals are the main crux of her game. Your specials are still good, don't get me wrong. You're going to be using them a lot, especially mostly for combos. The big thing is she needs to get up close and use a lot of these normals. So let's talk some of the most important ones here, like say standing 1, 2. So despite being 2 button presses, is actually 3 hits, but that's good because it does a lot of damage in a basic hit, which is good for your combo structure. Also, it is a high, stand 1, but the 2, the follow-up is an overhead. So if the opponent is ducking, say they're crouch blocking, if they do not immediately stand block for the second hit, the next 2 hits will just simply connect and you go directly into your combo. Stand 1 is very fast, 7 frames, good range for what it is. It's very easy to hit confirm at 3 hits, so you can very easily see this and go into whatever hit that's going to be your combo of choice, which we'll talk about the combos later. Also, the move is safe on block with a good amount of pushback. Very handy. Also, this leads into some of her better pokes as well, like down 1 and down 3, because most people with this amount of pushback, they don't have anything reliable that's not just slow, whereas down 1, razor quick, it'll poke them out from there, and other characters down 1s cannot reach back. Very handy. 1, 2 also has a follow-up, so if you happen to get blocked, you can go also just hit 1 plus 3, and after this, you'll leap forward into an overhead, must be stand blocked, and keep attacking the enemy. What makes this really handy is say the opponent attacks right away after the fact. Fair enough, most people will. The move is fast enough, the 1 plus 3 follow-up after standing 1, 2, that if they try to hit buttons, it will simply beat them out, and you'll get a good chunk of damage for it. So people who are just a little bit over eager to take their turn back, this is a great way to steal your turn, or just attack them and hit them out of whatever they're doing. And it's completely safe in and of itself with pushback as well. Fantastic. The one weakness of this string, while, as we've shown, it is normally safe on block, if you flawless block the 3rd hit of the string, it actually is no longer safe. and you can get a guaranteed punish from there. So it's a great string, a workhorse of a string. Just don't abuse it too much against people in the know. Standing 2-1, same deal. Also a good combo starter like 1-2. Does not have that weird flawless block weakness, just so you know, just a little bit slower startup is all. And also has a 1+3 follow-up that also is good for people that try to steal their turns. So same situation, if someone tries to take their turn right away after the block string, go for the follow-up. It'll beat them clean and you get a good amount of damage. And also like the 1-2 follow-up, safe on block. What's not to love? Now, we mentioned a lot of highs, and people will just start ducking. That's the nature of the game. So Mileena does have forward 1. So forward 1 is a true mid. It's a little slower compared to some of the other moves at 13 frames. Them's the breaks. You need a mid. This is your mid. So forward 1, 4-4 is your mid with a string follow-up, and it does have a low at the very end. The main idea here is if you get it blocked, sure, it's safe on block. That's okay, right? But if you see those hit happen, you can go right into a ball roll, full combo. That's great. Much the same here. We do have another high, 4-2. This is about her longest range move. Compared to some of the other characters, she doesn't have the most range. So take it where you can get it. It's not fast, but forward 2-4. One of the beauties here is it's good for hit confirms. It's also 0 on block, completely neutral. And if you see yourself get blocked, if you can hit confirm your own block, 4-2-4-2 is plus on block. You have slight advantage. So if you go both try to poke each other out at the same time, you'll always win. That's great. So if you see the hit, you can go right into a ball roll. If you see the block, hit 2, you're plus on block. Very useful string. The only weakness is, once again, it's just a bit on the slower side of things. And forward 4, workhorse of a move. Double hitting overhead, does a lot of damage for a single hit overhead, like much more than the rest of the cast. So that's really, really strong. And it's, for the most part, safe on block. There's a couple key characters that can punish on block, but for the most part, no one can. Also, can break armor as well because of the double hitting property. You will use this in pressure and basic mix-ups and combos. It is very, very strong. Also, depending on certain Kameo choices, this can enable a pretty potent mix-up game. It is also has an overhead 19 frames, which makes it effectively unreactable in the vast majority of situations. It comes in at less than a third of a second. Only the best of the best of the best are going to reliably react to that. And that's her normals. So the normals are the workhorse of the character. Of course, you'll use your specials every now and then, either as pokes, combo fodder. One special to mention, her EX high side toss does go full screen and also has a hit grab follow-up, and you can combo after the fact. This is really good because their full screen presence other than random unsafe moves is not great, and it also destroys all other projectiles along the way. The only downside is it does take 2 bars, not 1 bar, but keep in mind if you need a big Hail Mary from full screen, it is an option you have available to you. Now let's talk combos. So Mileena, once again, as we mentioned earlier in the video, she has very serviceable singular combo damage. She does not need a Kameo to get the most out of damage. She can get 40% plus by herself fairly easily. So one of her main strengths for the big damage is either 1-2 or 2-1. Both of these go into her EX up teleport, where a lot of the big time damage is. So let me show you an example bread and butter combo for 1 bar. Over 410 damage for a single bar off a very easy hit confirm. What's not to love? Also, we end in that forward 4, which gives us a very good knockdown. Very easy to pressure the enemy after the fact. We have almost 30 frames of advantage after the knockdown. So not only do you get your exceptionally high damage combo, you also get a lot of pressure after the fact. Now, some of the other combo starting strings, like say forward 1, 4-4 or forward 2-4, unfortunately cannot go into EX up teleport as easily. But we still have good meterless options for here. So let me show you an example that can use either of those 2 starters. Easy 300 some damage, you didn't use any of your meter, and you also have that really good knockdown. You can pressure the enemy after the fact. Now, to note about fatal blows and combos, you can basically do any combo structure for Mileena that you did before, just instead of doing dash forward 4 as your ender, just do dash fatal blow. Fatal blow has a lot of range, a lot of range. It's actually quite good in neutral as well if you catch people hitting buttons. So you can basically do whatever combo you normally would, do your fatal blow, and do almost half the enemy's life. Very easy, very satisfying. Now, what if you're in the corner? Well, we actually have some combo routes for you here. So for your main 1-2 or 2-1 starter, in the corner, you'll get just a little bit more damage, but hey, more damage is more damage. So 420 damage, it's not much more than the other combo, sure, but more damage is more damage, right? So if you can sneak in just a couple extra points, why not? Now for forward 1-4-4 or forward 2-4, now we couldn't get the EX teleport to combo with those, right? But this actually gives us an opportunity in the corner to spend some meter and get some more appreciable damage off these specific starters. So there we go, almost 400 off starters that normally can't get that much damage. And due to the fact we're using EX roll, we get to keep the corner and keep our pressure going. And of course, cameos help your combos. Now, Mileena's pretty self-sufficient, as mentioned earlier in the video, but in the corner specifically, and say with a cameo like Striker, we can actually get some pretty extreme damage. So let me show you an example. So there we go, over 460 damage for, say, a string that couldn't get too much, and in the corner you can get more, and in the corner with an assist with the cameo can get even more yet, right? The possibilities are endless. Now, for cameo usage, we could spend all day talking every single cameo. We're not here, we're a little time limited for the video, right? So I just want to highlight two specific cameos that I think are exceptional for Mileena. First being Striker. So Striker gives us some combo ability, as we saw a moment ago. That's great. And just specifically, the Striker grenade toss is truly fantastic for Mileena. Why? Because it lets you play stupid. So say you want to use some of her better aspects of the character, the random aspect, right? So you can go for, say, that random ball roll, and if it hits, great. But if it gets blocked, you're dead. But random ball roll with a grenade toss to back it up, if it connects, the grenades will help cover you, right? They'll bounce and then you can go for whatever combo. And if you get blocked, so normally if I do ball roll get blocked, I am done like dinner. That's all she wrote. But say if I'm doing it under the protection of a Striker cameo, there's really no punish to be had, right? Like, you can do stupid things. And this applies for a lot of the character, right? Say you go for grenade call, immediately teleport, right? Can't punish it. You have to sit there and block. If it hits, great. If it gets blocked, whatever. Grenades are there to make your life a lot easier and just make all your unsafe moves safe. So this also just gives her a good screen presence she doesn't normally have because her mid-screen, full-screen game's not that great outside of doing the random stuff. So Striker just makes what you want to do better, right? It lets you go crazy in a way that you shouldn't be able to because his grenades will make everything safe and it'll give you the odd better combo. The other great cameo to talk about is Kung Lao. So Kung Lao, the low hat, you might have heard of it, pretty good move. For one, it gives her just a full screen presence, right? It's a full screen fast fireball. So low, it's great. She can't do too much without burning meter from far screen. So just in and of itself, that's great. And of course, gimmicks, you can hold it. And while you're holding the hat, say you go for those teleports, right? And that kind of writes itself. It lets you do the unsafe, stupid stuff, just like Striker does while it's out. But the thing here is specifically combos. So any combo could be your bigger combo, could be your smaller combo. All you have to do is forfeit the final hit. So do whatever combo you're going to do. Do the air side toss. That's great. Just don't do the dash forward 4 follow-up. And what's going to happen is this. It'll give you enough frame advantage to safely set up hat and then still do something after the fact. You're giving up a little bit of damage at the end of your combo, but you're leaving yourself in a heavily advantageous situation. And then you can just kind of do the whole low overhead thing all you want. You can delay the hat toss a lot, right? So whether the low hits first or the overhead hits first, it's completely up to you. And you can do all sorts of things like just empty jump, don't even present an overhead and let people get hit by the low or whatever. Like the fact that you can safely set up shop with the hat and have all the frame advantage in the world and then just attack after the fact, that is really, really good. So you're giving up a little bit of damage at the end of any given combo, sure, but you're opening yourself up the possibility of that same combo all over again right after the fact, because if they can't block overhead low fast enough, you can go right back into it. So it's very, very, very handy. Low hat is probably the best single move in the game as far as cameos go, and Mileena has the opportunities, just thanks to the way her combo structure works, to easily set it up. In the end, Mileena is good at being in your face. That's kind of what she's built for. She has a tool set that keeps all that in mind. Her up close buttons are good, but she doesn't have too much of a mid-range and very little to negligible full screen presence other than just being random with the teleports. But that said, with teleports, with ball rolls, she can kind of be on you whenever she wants. So if you're okay with being a little bit random, she definitely will reward that for you. She's not particularly a master of defensive play. She doesn't have, like, you know, some of the big punishes some other characters get. Her whiff punish button would nominally be 4-2, but it is a little slower, right? So less defense, less hardcore neutral. She's more attack, 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 attack. She can have the odd poke, you know, the odd high side, low side. Like, it's not, don't forget it, right? It's part of your moveset. You should use it, but that's not where she's going to win games in the end. It's just a nice little bit of harassment. But if you want the kind of character that just gets in your enemy's face and stays there, Mileena is that character. And that all said, that is the video. So if you could leave the video a like, let me know in the comments below what you liked about the video. What do you like about Mileena in Mortal Kombat 1? And thank you for DashFight for helping me make this video. Thank you very much for watching and have a great day.